Hey guys, welcome back to issue 25 of Star Wars Build the Millennium Falcon. With me, Brad M73, and in this issue, we've got some new parts, which I showed you in the unboxing video. We got some screws for the hull plating. We have the transparent frame. Hopefully we have we got the stickers for that. We lost those before. Then we've got the corridor side pieces and the corridor pads. So I'm going to actually want to prime these first, and I'm actually going to do that in conjunction with the parts from issue 26. So I'm actually going to be opening up issue 26 to actually prime all those together so that I don't have to constantly, like, open and, well, you know what I'm saying. It's better just to kind of do everything together, and then I can paint them separately or whatever I want to do. So first, well, I'm going to set that aside. We're going to take a really quick look at the issue here. I'm going to have to move this out of the way just slightly. Let's see. We have the Delta 7 Aether Sprite Starfighter, which is from, I don't know, one of the prequel movies. Not really my favorite ones. I think it was the second one, which was that Attack of, I think it was Attack of the Clones. I think actually it was either the second one or the third one that starts out with Anakin fighting in these things. I mean, it's just a boring, look how incredibly boring that is. It's just a triangle. Sorry to get down on Star Wars and Lucas, but I just felt that was an incredibly uninspired, boring design, and I don't know, just really disappointing. Unlike the Naboo Starfighter, so we've got some information about the original trilogy, or I'm sorry, the prequel trilogy, which I don't like to dwell upon. Looks like there's some stuff from maybe Clone Wars in here, the cartoon, the CG cartoon, which was actually pretty good. That was a bit better. But I think it would have been cool if they would have done that live action, though. But I don't know. Here's hoping, right? Let's see. Next up, we have the gyro computers. How the ship controls in 3 dimensions, and finally we get to our next parts. So here we have a bit of hull framing, which we're going to save. I think it's until episode 20. It's either the next episode or episode 27 where we put the next bit of hull framing on. So we're going to hold this stuff off for a future episode. We also have, I think it's part number 7. Well, let's see, 7. Yeah, it's the fixing studs, which are actually for the main hold, which you can see right here. If you see where the, see if I can zoom this in a little bit and move this. If you see here where the computer console is, there are currently screws here and here, and these fixing studs are actually designed so that you remove the screws and put these studs in its place, and then you don't see the screws. I'd have to go back and look. I think I've only used the top screw. I'm not sure if I've used the bottom screw to align those, but I'm not sure that I'm going to put these in just yet, because I'm still not 100% convinced that I am really finished with my hold. So once I get to that point, I'll use those, but I'm not going to do it as part of this issue. How about that? Let's zoom back out a little bit. We are going to put the pieces together here, so I'm actually going to go ahead and zoom out a little bit. And I think that's the only, it's the only page. So we're going to zoom out a little bit. Here I've got, again, issue 25. And I'm going to have a ton of gluing to do here, which will be fun. This might end up being a pretty long episode with all the gluing and everything. that we're going to have to do. So we've got our next bit of framing, which I think is right here, which looks to me like, I think, yeah, this is the side, this is the front here, so that's where that goes. And we've got the hull framing. I've noticed that some people have actually said that they've gotten these where these big long, because they're pretty long, you can see there, where these are actually been broken off. So there is a hole here in the hull. So I don't know if there's supposed to be a pass-through, or maybe there's a light or something. I just don't know. So anyway, we've got that. Again, we've got our little piece of paper, which I'm going to open up, shake out, make sure there's no parts in there. And then I'll set my little pads over here, set those aside. And then I'm just going to set the frame, the hull framework and everything. I'm just going to set that up here, set that aside for right now. And we have, what do we have? We've got some black screws. Here are the, let's see if I can, there we go. Here are the little fixing studs. There's 3 of them. And so we'll get, come on, refocus. Thank you. Where's my little, where is my little piece? Oh, it's in the other room. I have my, you know, the current build. I actually have that on my kitchen table. I was taking some pictures of it recently. So yeah, here we have these 4 pieces. So this is the hallway corridor that goes into the turret section. And we've got both sides. I guess we could do a little bit of sanding on these, but it's not really going to matter. The only part that's really going to matter is right through here, and then, you know, like the front part of the ring here. I do want that painted. So I'm gonna prime these, get those painted, and then we'll come back and get to sticking on the pads. And we'll airbrush and then we'll stick on the pads. So we'll be right back. Okay, we've got our pieces here that are all primed and ready to go. Actually, this one is the outside I'm not really concerned with. It's the inside, even though you're not really going to see this because it's going to be shoved so far up inside the Falcon that you know, it's probably not going to feel too good. No, anyway, I am basically just going to mix up a little bit of thinner, which I already have in here, and actually I should probably use some fresh thinner. I noticed that I left a little bit of, I must have left a little bit of paint. I'm really good about cleaning my airbrush, but I must have left a little tiny bit of paint in my color cup. And I thought I had a second color cup, but I'm looking around. I can't find it anywhere. So, well, that's way too much. Actually, I'll pour this in here. There, that's a little bit better. All right. Just enough so that we can get this painted here. And I've got the airbrush here. I've been kind of cleaning things out here lately because, like I said, for some reason I left some color in the cup, I guess, the last time I used it. So it's dried out. There we go. And we'll just coat all of these. And this is going on pretty light because I have so much thinner on there. So I think I might actually put a tad bit more of the actual paint in. That way. And actually, I'm probably going to be pretty close to being done with all of my paints here. Or, I mean, as far as painting the interior of the Falcon. So, anyway, we'll continue on. Hopefully, I'm just using my hand here to hold on to these pieces so that they don't blow away. I'm just kind of putting the paint on fairly lightly. Okay. Kind of aim down from the top so that we get, you know, both sides of those little spines there. I'll have to do the corner down there. Yeah. Biggest thing is like the inside of this lip right here, because this part is going to be slightly visible from the hallway section, so I just want to make sure that, you know, I've got the color on that, you know, really good. Should probably have something holding this down, but I'm an amateur, so getting a little bit low on paint here, so okay. Come on now. Okay. I don't know why I'm being so meticulous on these, because we're really not going to see this very, very much of this at all. Okay, we're... pretty much out of paint in the color cup, so just trying to get the last little bits of paint on here before we run out. Gonna get the ends here. Don't know if we'll really need to do the ends, but Might as well, right? And I don't have any gloves on, so I'm just getting my fingers dirty. Now, I've also pulled these three pieces out of issue 26. I know this is, the issue for 20, or the video for issue 25, but I wanted to kind of get these primed and painted right now so that I don't have to double up. I'm still going to have to do the two hallway pieces, but probably not going to hit those until later in the week. And come on, just a little bit more. There we go. Should be using my eyedroppers for this. For some reason, I'm not. I'm a rebel. However, I do have an eyedropper right here. Glass eyedropper from Perfect. And already one of them is not perfect because the first one I pulled out, it, like when you suck in, it won't actually suck anything in. Like this one, should just. So I'll get a little bit of thinner in there, just put a couple drops. And more than a couple. Okay. I'll just use the tip of my screwdriver here to mix that up just a little bit. And we're going to do the floor and the ceilings for these little hallways. So this is going to be the hall, I guess. Going back to the turret. And then this is I believe this is the ceiling of the turret here. I don't really care too much about weathering this. Maybe the bottom, I'll probably put some of the, the Tester's acrylic wash on there, like I've been doing. See how that turns out. I might even try a black wash. I don't know. Man, painting grays is really difficult on the eyes. At least it is for me. Okay. All right. So let's take another look at. Oh, that's the. This is the roof. I'm pretty sure. I'm just blowing air right there. Okay. Now I might go back and just kind of paint over this when I get everything else, glued and put together. Now, this actually does have a curved end, so we haven't really been told whether or not there's going to be like a like a tube going all the way through. And actually, if you notice how some of these pieces are curved in, or they have like this little curve to it. If you actually look at the the cutout in the main hole, there's another curve like that. So I'm kind of wondering if that has something to do with a piece that's going to be going into where the cockpit to, or the, you know, not the cockpit, but the gunner's turret. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm wondering if that's going to have some kind of conflict with the gunner's turret. So get all this paint out of here. And just blow that through there. Oh, wait, what in the world? Oh. I see what happened. I guess I dripped a drop of the thinner onto my wall piece here. So the way I think this is going to go in, and actually I'm just going to unplug my airbrush for right now. There we go. So I can sit that in the thinner. Pour some thinner in my color cup just to let that sit. And then when I'm done with the video, I'll come back and we will, I will. I'm not going to bore you guys with it, but I'm going to go and do the rest of that off camera. Really quick, we have issue 27, 26 here. I just want to kind of see how all of this is going to line up. Okay. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay. So the parts that have, you know, on the top we've got 3 cushions, on the bottom we have 4, and well, maybe not. Oh wait, that's the. Okay, that's correct here. I'm sitting there like, what? Okay, these do have a dovetail to them, and so these will glue in. Okay, that's the opposite side. So these are going to go in like so, essentially like that. And then the top obviously is going to go on like that. But we'll deal with that in the next issue, because I don't really think there's a whole lot to do in the next issue other than putting that together. So actually, let's look. I might make I might make the decision just to combine these because, you know what, I think I might do that. I'm going to combine issues 25 and 26 because there's literally in the next issue nothing to do other than putting those 2 pieces together. So we'll set that aside for right now. The screws over there. And we want to get the wall pieces out. And okay, there's the top one. It's kind of weird how it has these backwards, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then there's just 1, 2, 3. And hopefully you can see this. See, it's got the bottom part here, but the top on this piece. So it's almost like they've got everything reversed. But that's all right. We'll press on and figure it out. So it says all 4 wall pieces of the access have strips of padding supplied on 2 sprues. Use the photographs on the right side to see which strips go where. Okay. So we've got photographs of both of these. Let's see here. Of course, they both say issue 25, but this one goes on the top. Wait, are these the same? No, they're not. Okay. So this is going to go, all right. I'm really afraid when I do these. So I do have this one. I've got this one here with the 4 on top. And yep, that's right. So we're going to do these first. So it's going to be these 4 there. So the first 4 are going to be these 1, 2, 3, 4, which are going to be 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. And where's my sprue cutter? Oh, there it is. I was going to say, I just had it here earlier today. Okay. So, and you know what? I know for a fact I left my sanding pieces in the other room, except for the flat one here. So I think, uh-oh, we got some paint on that. Back part is, we're like never going to see this. So that's going to fit there. Kind of a little bit of a blemish there. So I'm going to glue these in. Don't think I'm going to glue them in as I go. On top of that, I still need to get a new toothpick. Okay, next. And I'll go back through. There is a very, very slight wash on these pieces. Very, very slight. And I will go back through for sure, actually, before I glue all these together and do another wash on them. Whoops. Need to be kind of doing these more so that you guys can see. Making sure we're focused here. I've noticed in some of the videos, when I bring something up close to the camera, it has a tendency to focus or get out of focus, and so I'm trying to work on that. I just did lock the focus on my camera so that hopefully it doesn't do that again. This piece is slightly concave. Okay. Okay, so I decided to go and get another toothpick because I kind of actually do want to glue this as I go. So I'm just going to get a piece of cardboard here so that I can do some gluing. Sorry guys, I'm just popping the staples out as I rip my mic out of the out of the camera. That would not be good. Okay, so what I'm going to do, these will be pretty easy. I believe this is the next one, right? Yes. Okay. And then we are going to have quite a lot of gluing to do. So this might end up being one of the longer episodes. So we're going to be gluing, and I keep going back and forth in my mind whether I want to make whether I want to continue on with part 25 or if I want to come back and kind of weather these panels, or weather, not the panels, but the pads, maybe in the next episode so that you guys can see what I'm doing and kind of go from there. There we go. I'm happy with the distribution of glue. Okay. All right, so we've got the first 4 pieces there. Wipe off some excess glue there. Okay. Next up, 5, 6, and 7, which are these 3. These are going to be the 3 bottom pieces. And I think what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to just do the one side. So I'll do this one, and then I'll do the next, the other panels here, but I'll do those kind of in a time lapse for you guys so that we're not spending too terribly much time on this episode. Because it's essentially doing the exact same thing. And then if something happens and I need to drop out of, time lapse, then I can do that. Oh no. Last thing I needed to do is glue my Millennium Falcon to my cutting board. And I think coming up, oh, great. I think it's maybe episode 20, or issue 27, I want to say, where we actually start to assemble the jig, the big plastic jig. I'm not really sure if I'm going to do it exactly as they say, as far as gluing it to a piece of construction board or whatever it is that they recommend. I just don't know if I'm going to go that route yet. I've thought about it, and then I keep going back and forth, and I'm like, why do I need to go through all of that gluing and not necessarily gluing, I guess it's taping, because they actually want you to kind of tape it together. Am I out of glue already? There. Maybe if I use this. will make more sense. I could take it or leave it. Okay, so we're almost done with the first piece out of 4. My fingers caught in the... You know, it's too bad we're not doing the inner hold at the end. That way all this dust we could be sprinkling on top of our Falcons to dirty it up. I think that would be a pretty good idea. Yeah, I was looking at some reference photos. Now, these aren't the ones that DeAgostini are supposedly going to supply us at a later date. But they're reference photos of the 32-inch filming miniature. And man, I tell you what, that thing is dusty and dirty. And yeah. But I mean, you gotta think that thing's like 35 years old. Maybe more. You know, it's 2015. When did Empire come out? 1981. For some reason, I keep thinking it's later than that, but then I'm like, yeah, maybe it's not. Okay. I just kind of lean that up there. All right, so we're going to do this next piece. So let's see. So we got this. So it's going to be 8, 9, and 10, which is going to be these 3 bottom pieces. All right, so now we're kind of starting from the bottom and moving up. So 8, 9, 10. Which one is this one? No. Yeah. Okay. Okay. For some reason, it sounds kind of windy outside. I don't know if it's a plane flying over or it was a really nice day out today. I can't believe it's already the 15th of September. And then we're going to be in October, and then it's going to really start getting cold. I'm about ready to just pack it up and move to Florida. I wonder if property values down there are still dirt cheap. Do not know. I know they used to be, boy, back during 5 years ago or so when I was down there. I actually went down for the last few shuttle launches, space shuttle launches, which was absolutely awesome, by the way. I'm so glad I went. I didn't make the Discovery launch, but I was down for Endeavour and Atlantis. And I kind of disappointed myself because I went and I made it for like the last 2 of the most unimpressive launches, I think, that there were. Endeavour took off and within just a few seconds was in the clouds, and so it was really disappointing. And Atlantis was a little bit better. It actually got through its whole roll maneuver and started to accelerate away as before it actually went into the clouds. You can see it on YouTube, but Yeah, I was so kind of disappointed because both times people were like, "Yeah, it's usually like way louder," and during those launches it just wasn't. Okay, so on this, I have to be kind of careful because there's, um, well, maybe I won't have to be that careful. These four pieces are all the same, so it shouldn't matter. But one side is kind of angled, so I want to make sure that that angle is actually going to go, in the right direction. Okay, so I think it goes towards the back here, which apparently it does. Okay. Well, that answers that question. I just want to turn these around really quick just to see. Yeah, they're way off if I switch them around like that. So definitely had it right the first time. Okay. It's actually starting to get rather warm in here. I have a big studio light with a softbox. It's a pretty big one. It's a 24, I think it's a 24 by 24 24 inch by 24 inch softbox. So it's a pretty big one. And they tend to get pretty warm if you keep them running for long periods of time. Okay. Okay. All right, so we have two more pieces to go here, and then I'll be ready to do the other side, and we'll be able to fast forward through that so that I don't have to bore you guys to death. Okay. And last but not least, I don't think any of these pads are even going to be remotely visible from outside of the ship. Even with the additional panels turned or removed, I'm sorry. Because there will be some panels on the top which we can remove to see some of the interior details. Okay, so this is actually, I guess this is the back part, like this. And the other one will be over here, maybe? Yeah, I think so. I think this one's going to go... No. Oh, this is the tube. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, this is going to go right like that. Okay, so the slant there is part of that tubing. So, I don't know. Maybe there will be a tube that goes all the way down through. We shall see. All right, so we have our two pieces done here. And now I'm going to fast forward things, and we'll get through to this next piece. Okay, so we're back, and I'm just starting to glue this last piece together. My battery in my camera is getting insanely low, so I'm probably just going to wrap things up here, and we'll come back in issue 26 and do the last assembly of this piece. As you can see, I've already kind of put it together loosely just to kind of see how it would fit, and now we've got the last pad in over here. So, and then these pieces will go like this, kind of. I don't want to glue it all the way down, and then like this, and we'll have like a little. No, I don't want to kind of put everything together just yet, but that's really all I think we have to do in the next episode. Now, one other thing that we're supposed to do in this issue is, and let me get all of this out of the way, get the glue off of there, set these aside to kind of dry. Let's zoom out on the camera here. So yeah, we'll come back. We'll weather up those. We'll weather up these pads over here, and we'll continue on with the assembly. So aside from the final little arch, I think that's all the pads we have. Thank gosh. Okay, the last bit is adding the fixing studs, as you can see here, and it's talking about. Let's see, undo the two screws, use the slit door to the circuitry bay to gain easy access to the screw. It's talking about, unscrewing the two screws next to the console, which would be here and here. Clip two of the fixing studs and trim them off, and then you mount them into where the screw holes went, and then they glue in place. You have to do it really quick too, and then you would sand and do the final painting, I guess, if you will. But I'm actually going to wait on this because I'm still not 100% finished with my hold, and I don't want to, I don't want adding these two studs to get me stuck. Why they included 3 when you only need 2, I don't know. I'm assuming that maybe we only need 2, and that we have a spare in case we accidentally break one. I don't really know, or maybe we'll need it later down the road. But I don't think there are any more. I don't think there's any other exposed screws in the hold area. Now here's I thought something that was interesting. It says the turret access features. During the escape from the Death Star in A New Hope, when Han and Luke rushed to defend the Falcon from a TIE fighter attack. Gosh, I can't read tonight. Han climbs up to the dorsal gun, while Luke descends to the ventral turret, and it's clear from both sequences that the access is a little more than a recessed doorway. While this gave good on-screen action, keeping the actors in shot, it later became obvious to the artists who worked on the plans of the ship that this geometry simply wouldn't work. Some early blueprints did show a short, straight corridor, but after the size of the ship was revised, it was realized that if the tunnel was to be in line with the gun controls, it would have to be further from the corridor, or the ring corridor. The solution was to introduce a longer access passage with an angle in the middle. So that's essentially where they're addressing the reason why our access corridors are angled. And I think it's been discussed plenty of times before. Again, in issue 6, we have some more framing pieces. We have the floor piece, which we already have ready to go, which I've gone to the liberty of priming and painting, so that's all ready to go. I don't even think we do anything with it. And then we've got the two, the little turret corridor floor and the turret corridor ceiling, as well as another piece of the assembly jig. So we'll see you then. Should just be a few days before I get that episode or that issue up. And once again, thank you for joining me for issue 25 of the Millennium Falcon. Or, I'm sorry, well, I can't talk. It's late. Star Wars Build the Millennium Falcon. I'm Brad M73. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed watching, and please subscribe for this and many more videos. We'll see you next time, guys. Bye for now.